Okay, there's the time. Day, July 28th, 2019. There's the planets that are behind the sun. Been watching them all morning, rotating up. If they were a lens flare, they wouldn't disappear behind this cloud. Watch how they disappear. They're gone. And they also illuminate, see? Now, if those were a lens flare, why would they disappear? No, they'd be projected onto the cloud. That means they're behind it. And if you notice, anyway, there you go, people. They're gigantic, and they're here. They're bigger than our sun. Our sun's right down there. It's not in the monitor screen yet. By the way, these are security cameras. And instead of pointing them out at my car or somewhere out in the driveway, they're pointed. It's pointed straight up, and it's infrared camera. So it'll pick up an infrared spectrum, and there's the planets. They just came out of the clouds. So you can't tell me that those are lens flare. Those are not a lens flare, because lens flares would project on top of the clouds, on top of anything off the lens. And I've watched those black stripes go all the way up those planets from the bottom up on the bottom of the screen. Here's the bottom of the screen right here. You can see the straight line. That's the bottom of my monitor. And I watched those planets appear this morning, about an hour and a half ago or so. The first one. Didn't even see the second one. Then it popped up. The second one popped up over it like that before the sun was even in the picture. The sun's not even in the picture yet. Just about. It's right there. And watch the stripes on them rotate all the way up. And now the sun's coming up on them. They're not a lens flare. If they were a lens flare, they would be projected on top of all objects off the lens. And I've watched clouds go over them all morning long without the sun in the picture. The sun was actually, those planets are actually more stationary. They stayed there, and the sun's overtaken them. So the sun was, an hour and a half, the sun was way down on the horizon, or whatever you want to call it, the treetops. And now it's up at the sky. And the planets were already up there. I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but the planets were already up there, and the sun wasn't anywhere near them earlier today. But I just wanted to show you. I can get this capture every single day, I think, as long as it's not cloudy and they don't cover it with chemical trails. But there's the sun rays. And then there's the planets right behind the sun. And you can't see them with your naked eye because it's too dang bright, for one. Another thing, they're in infrared. I've watched those things all morning long now without the sun there. And now the sun's overtaken them. So they're in a rotation pattern that's slower, or in a different trajectory. Elliptical, whatever you want to call it. And they're coming straight in, rather than rotating around like the sun does around the planet. Or the planet rotating around the sun. Whatever they say. It doesn't even matter. I don't believe anything they tell you anymore, but yeah. So the sun is rotating opposite of the other planets, or kind of actually not just opposite, but also toward them. Check it out. Not lens flares, planets. At any rate, just reaffirm, show you that I can get this capture now every day that it's not cloudy, because those planets are right behind the sun. They're coming in. They're coming in hard and strong. Anyway, there's some clouds coming. you want to watch the clouds go over the planets, but one's kind of blue in color and one's kind of red. So you got the what, Nemesis one, and then the Destroyer. What's the Nemesis is blue? Is that what it is? You got the blue planet, and then the red one. The blue Kachina and the red Kachina. One's red and one's blue. There you go. And they're right behind the sun right now. Depends on the time of the day. You see. Depends on the time of the day. Earlier, like I said, a couple hours ago, the sun wasn't anywhere around, and those planets were just coming up at the bottom of the screen. And this is a security camera that I'm taking this picture off of right now. Watch these clouds. Okay, now when these clouds go over it, if it was a lens flare, it'd project it on top of the clouds. Nope. Looks like the clouds go over it to me. They look like they go over it? Yes, they do. Look at that. Look at that. It's not projecting them onto the clouds. You can actually see it's illuminating them from the rear. So, no, people. It's not a lens flare. It can't be. You see? Now watch them pop out. Check them out. There they are. Behind the clouds. Not in front, but behind. Now tell me that's a lens flare, people. And I'll call you a liar. That trip. They're here. The blue Kachina and the red Kachina. Anyway. And I don't know what that is. What the heck is that? That right there. It doesn't even look like a cloud to me. Maybe that's another one. Maybe that's the big planet. I don't know. That thing's huge too. Maybe that's the gas giant. That looks more like the gas giant. These are the little moons, probably. You got the little moons, and then I'll bet you got the gas giant. There's the big gas giant right there. Look at that sucker. That's not a cloud. That's been there for a while now. And it's actually getting redder and redder. That's the gas giant. So that's the big gas giant. And here's the moons. And there's our phony sun simulator. That's in front of them to blind us so we can't see them. Because our sun's dead. And there's the clouds that go over those planets, you see. It was lens flare. See, it hasn't touched the sun. The clouds haven't gone over the sun. If the clouds went over the sun and then they disappear, it'd be one thing. But no, the clouds aren't even over the sun. They go over the planets. Watch, they'll reappear. There they are. There they are. So it's definitely not a lens flare. Definitely not. Look at that big gas giant. That's not a cloud. That's a gas giant. Look at that. The gas giant's above it. I captured. Look at the connection between it too. Look at the red that's going all the way down in a beam down to the sun. Oh my God, look at that magnetic connection we're having right now. We're having big time solar winds out here right now too. Look at that. Woo! Caught the gas giant. That's amazing. That's an amazing capture. Look at that. See, if people know what they're looking at, you can even see it's round. You can even see it's round. The gas giant. And then you got the moons that are drug in with them. And our sun simulator. This is a heck of a capture here. I've never seen this all in one frame. In fact, I've never really seen the gas giant this clear. That thing's huge. Wow. And the moon's with it. That's cool. Look at that, people. We got the gas giant, the moons, and our sun simulator. And you definitely can't say that gas giant is a... Look at the cloud above it. See the difference between clouds and the gas giant? And you definitely can't say that the gas giant is a lens flare, because it doesn't even look like a lens. Look at that, big gas giant. Red gas giant. And then the moon's with it. This is a good capture. I'm just going to keep doing it. I guess I'll shut up, huh? I'm just excited because I know what I'm looking at. I can't believe what I'm looking at. Yeah, I can't believe it. Oh, God, look at it. Oh, my God. My Lord in heaven above, Jesus Christ is coming. And watch this cloud go over the gas giant. This is going to be good. Watch this cloud. Hold on. Watch this cloud go over the gas giant. This is all live right now, too. What's this? That gives you depth, you see. Now you can see depth perception. You can see it's a big smear up in the sky. That's the gas giant. There's no clouds up there. Those are the clouds right there. You're looking at them, the white puffy little things. And then you see the big red blur in the middle of the screen there. That dark blur. That's the gas giant. That's amazing. Gas giant with the moons. You can see them. I'm going to kick back here and hold the camera up at the monitor and see what we catch. You can even see the outline of the gas giant. See the roundness? That's huge. You can see how small the moons are. Look at the blue moon. See, it's blue. You got one blue one. The blue Kachina and the red Kachina, right? With the striped planet. Which, as we saw yesterday, I took pictures of. At 2 o'clock or 3 in the afternoon. See, I caught them earlier today before they get further up in the sky. And the sun blinds them out. Can't believe we got the gas giant going on there, though. That's kind of interesting. Look at the sun rays. See how they kind of are magnetically charged to the gas giant. Connection. Trying to make a connection, I guess. I don't know what they're doing. Cool. The blue Kachina and the red Kachina. Right in your face. Wow. Wacha. Take that. Go ahead, deniers. Go ahead, you deniers. Oh, God, go ahead. And look at that. What is that? Oh, it's a cloud. Oh, it's a cloud. It just sits there forever. It just happens to be reddish in color. That's the gas giant, kids. That's the big gas giant up there. Look at how it illuminates. Look at that cloud get bright when it goes over it. Ah! Now look at these little clouds go over this thing. Go over the moons. You got the big gas giant. See how? You got the red blotch behind it. It's actually a bunch of matter. It's actually a bunch of plasma. It's God. God's coming. Isn't that cool? Yeah. I've grown up my whole life and seen other planets up there when I take pictures of the sun, huh? You've always seen other planets there when you take pictures of the sun. Or lens flares. Lens flares. Yeah, right. Lens flares. Yeah, those are lens flares, all right. That's why clouds will go in front of them. That means they're behind it, not coming off the lens, man. Watch this. Watch the cloud go in front of it, man. It goes in front of it. I wish we had a bigger cloud. It just happens to be a beautiful, perfect, clear view day. Look at the brilliancy that's creating. A gas giant just magnetically charging everything that's around it. So you can see it's darker up there. It's a gas giant. And it's its moons. Gassy giant and moons. Got it? Okay, scientists. You so called professionals. It cracks me up, professionals that don't even know that it's the end of the world soon. It's funny as hell. Funny as hell, man. Gas giant. That's gas giant there, professors. See? Gas giant for Mr. Amateur. And the planets. The blue Kachina and the red Kachina. And the sun simulator. They're not lens flares. Because clouds go in front of them. And I've been watching them come up all morning without the sun. So there. Sorry, people. Anyway. Okay, I'm going to get off this thing. You guys have seen enough. Look at that. Plus my arm's getting sore holding this camera. Look at that. That's a gas giant, kids. It's right here. See, it hasn't moved since you've been watching this for the last 17 minutes. And it's still there, isn't it? Yep. But it's not a cloud. It's a gas giant. And there's its moons. Cool, huh? And then there's something else red up there. I don't know what that is. Looks like something else. Look at that. See red just out in the middle of nowhere. Probably another planet right here that they're blocking off somehow. See, it's half round. Well, there's a lot going on up there today. If you know what you're looking at. Okay. You guys take care. Love y'all. Get ready for what's to come. Okie dokie, artichokes.